Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast, a deep dive into all things Disney Vacation Club. We share tips, tricks, and insider info, helping you make the most of your membership. Join us for the latest news, reviews, and interviews with DVC experts and enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned DVC member or considering your first contract, this podcast is for you. Now, here are your hosts, Mike Hurley and Gary Arruda.
Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. This is episode 32, recorded in the DeFont Leroy Recording Studios in Sarasota, Florida, and Cranston, Rhode Island. I'm your host, Mike in Florida, joined by my cousin and co-host, Gary, up in Rhode Island. Good evening, Gary.
Hi, Pards. How you doing today?
I'm doing well.
What's new in your neck of the woods?
And not much.
No?
No, I had a little knee flare-up this week, Pards. Not good.
Gout?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not good.
What's it from? Just happens, or?
It happens more in the winter. Dehydration, not drinking enough, not sweating it out. And I always seem to get it in January. And I felt it at Disney. And when we were coming home, the knee started swelling. The next day, I could barely get out of bed.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, if I were to show you now, you'd be like, oh, my God. And 2 days ago, it was like twice the size.
Really?
It looks like there's a cantaloupe in my knee.
We got to get you rested for the member.
I'm well aware of that. If it was this week, there would be some concern.
There'd be a WD. I'd be going.
Because although I have no pain now, but the swelling's there, so I'm not able to do anything. Like I went for a long walk today. There's no pain, but it's getting rid of that swelling.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's some concern here.
That's a little bit of concern. It's definitely gout, though. It's not anything else.
Oh yeah. I mean, because I wouldn't know if I twisted. Yeah, I get it. I've gotten it. I get it once a year. So.
Oh, that's miserable. And you said it's like the worst pain that you've experienced, right?
It's the worst pain. And then because of the swelling, my knee buckles.
Oh, okay. That's no fun.
Like I'll be walking and I feel fine, and the knee just kind of gives out because there's so much inflammation in those joints.
Not great.
No, not ideal, Parts. Not ideal. But.
So we're going to be going into this member guest with you coming off battling gout and me not having played golf in a year. We should be in good shape for that.
We should be in really good shape.
But guess what? We'll be the number one seed at the buffet, won't we?
My concern is if we do win that flight and then we have to go out and make asses of ourselves in front of the entire field.
That's the best part.
You want to go out there and whiff a drive?
No, because we'll be
the creek?
We're not going to top it. What, are you going to be nervous? I'll hit the first shot.
Yes.
Problem is, if I hit the first shot
and it's bad, then I'm going to be really sweating.
No, but if I hit the first shot, oh no, that actually works out good because the third shot would be me and it would be a chip because we don't want you chipping.
No. Although you should see my short game now, Parts.
Oh, it's good. You're in the Dave Pell short game era of your career right now?
Yeah. No, I've been getting up and down. I've been putting the ball on the green. It's a new me. I'm just committing. I say, you know what? Screw it. If I thin it into Darren's office, to hell with it. But you can't be committing and then not committing and then doing this and doing that. I'd just rather thin it.
Yeah, that's what happens. If you start thinking about it, just don't think about it. Just swing.
Because when you're so inconsistent like me, you're thinning it and fatting it and leaving it at your feet. So I just said, I'm going to commit, and if I put it in Kurt's, like, between Kurt's eye sockets, that's fine. That's a good ball right there.
Hey, those guys, if they're playing with you, they got to have their head
They know you do not mark the ball. Like, nobody marks balls and reads putts when I'm, like, either chipping or if I'm in the green side bunker.
No, that's a bad play if they do that.
First time I played with this guy, Eli, just a great guy. He's from New Hampshire. And I was behind the green. He's farting around on the green. I'm like, the hell with it. And I just took a 60 degree and bladed it, and I hit him below the knee. So it was between the ankle and the knee. And by the time I said heads up, it was already hit his.
You got to pay attention, Eli.
Whatever the hell that bone's called. You went to biology class. I skipped it, and I seen you. Yeah, just boop. Heads up. It's already rolling off the green. He starts limping. I'm like, first time I ever played with this guy.
You tip the cap after that one?
No, it's so embarrassing, isn't it?
I've never hit
you hurt the guy because you suck. It's bad enough that you suck. But there's shrapnel on the green because
Yeah.
of how bad you
Your playing partners are bleeding because you suck.
Kurt said he knocked it.
Oh, jeez. Let's not get into it now. We might need to save this for the other show.
All right. We'll talk about it on the other show. All right. So what are we talking about today?
You just had a little overnight stay at the DVC property. Why don't we talk about it?
Okay.
Tell all the lovely people where you stayed, why you booked it, what you guys get up to.
So we did a quick overnight. Susie's been
Mhm.
studying for this CFA designation with her company. So we wanted to do an overnight and we stayed at Saratoga Springs.
Oh, beautiful.
Yep. We got a deluxe studio, standard view.
Okay.
We're in the paddock, I believe, right? You know where we were.
Paddock, yes.
Yep.
Which I think is the best building area if you're not in the preferred.
Unfortunately, we were in building 4, so we were all the way at the end because I think it started in 7.
Were you closer to the pool or closer to the road?
Closer to the pool. We were close to the road and the pool. We were like 2 buildings from the pool, but we were nowhere near Disney Springs.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because if you're all the way closer to the road in the paddock, if you're the last building near the road, you're really close to Disney Springs.
Yeah, that was not us.
So you might have been on the other side of the pool. Anyway.
Yeah, we were to the right of the pool. If you're facing Disney Springs, is going to be on the left, and then the pool, and then we were to the right.
Gotcha.
If you're
yes.
overhead.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. I like that section, but yeah, you're not really that close to Disney Springs over there.
No, it was all right. We checked in. The only thing they said we got rooms ready. I said my only request is non-accessible because I can't do those anymore.
Oh, right.
Just because everything's just
lower.
too low. Everything's too low. The bed's low. Everything's low. So yeah, we got plenty of rooms. So she said we got you on actually on the 4th floor. So I'm like, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's the best.
Like I told you, my biggest complaint is the parking situation. They have no parking for check-in. Like I counted, they're literally in the teens. Like they have like 14 parking spots for the.
And about 6 of them say reserved for cast members or whatever.
And they're all reserved. And I was like to the point, I'm like, because it was a miserable, cold, raw, rainy day.
That's
right. And I said I might just sit there. I could have like kind of went up through where you drop bags and threw the flashes on and let Kristen stay in the car. But I'm like, yeah. So then we're driving around. We ended up parking over at LBV Golf Course. And then come up behind that back way where they do the DVC tours.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no big deal. It was raining. And I wanted to be able to park and get in and out, but it's hard over there, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that's the only spot where there's not parking because everywhere else you could basically park at your door.
Yeah, because we were going to park in one of the buildings across the street, and there was no parking there.
Yeah, so just next to the main building, and I guess everybody who had a car would drive there if they were going to go to the lobby. You're not going to walk if it's raining out.
Yeah, correct.
So that probably hurt your chances too if there were a lot of people that were just going to go to the lobby for a snack or to hang out or whatever. What time did you get there, approximately?
I want to say 2-ish.
2, yeah.
2-ish. We wanted to leave late morning. It was ready, yep.
It's very strange how these rooms are always ready well before check-in time.
I know, isn't it?
Because usually
you see online, people
it's always like
midnight, 1 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, so it was ready.
My favorite part of that is when people do post that it's like not ready till 8 o'clock, and they say, "Well, according to DVC, the earliest is 4 o'clock. It could be any time after that," which I think is complete BS.
It's complete BS because the earliest is when the room's available. I've gotten in there before noon.
Right. They say 4 or later. I'm like, well, how late is it okay to complain? If it's 10:30 at night, can you complain? You're paying for that day.
Yeah, like if you want to comp me and you're in your situation where you guys are going to go run around the parks and stuff, then that's one thing. But if I'm going there for an overnight and I'm just going to Disney Springs, I want my room.
course.
Yeah, if you want to comp me a night, we can have that discussion. But
I think getting in at 4 is perfectly acceptable. That's part of the agreement. But if it's 5 o'clock, I'm going to start ruffling feathers. I think that hour window is fine between 4 and 5.
mm-hmm.
If it's any later than that, I think you have a right to be upset, in my opinion.
I agree.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt. So you got up there too. The room was ready. You got it in the paddock section.
Yep, we went up there. Yeah, we went up and I did my room review, my YouTube room review. We unloaded our bags. She put our stuff into the drawers.
You do that? You unpack the luggages even for one night? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I do too.
I hate living out of a suitcase.
Yeah, because when we went for 2 nights, I still packed everything into the drawers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because then also after I wear it, I could pack it right back into the suitcase when it's dirty. So then
exactly.
Like easier packing.
Yeah, because then we knew exactly, like, there was a pair of shorts or my bathing suit that we didn't wear because it was so lousy. We were planning on maybe doing a hot tub, but so then okay, these are our cleans, and we'll put the cleans over here and the dirties over here, and you're good to go. So
yeah, I know we've talked about it a lot, but how nice are those rooms at Saratoga? The studios are beautiful.
You know what's funny? That was Kristen's first DVC stay.
Mm-hmm.
And she said these rooms are smaller than I remembered. I said, because we've been staying at Riviera and Grand Floridian, which are some of the bigger studios.
Yeah.
And it's negligible, but you just notice there's just a little bit more room between the bed and the TV and the.
Sure.
But anyways, to answer your question, God, I love that. I love that room. I freaking love that room. I love the bed. I like what they did behind the bed, how subtle it is. I like the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's so subtle.
It's just calming
when
you
one of
get
the
back
best
in.
Refurbs that they've done.
Yeah, and it was one of the first ones even, I think.
And they're only going to get better, but they did a great job.
Yeah, I have high hopes because as they go along, I feel like they're mostly nailing them all. And I think Contemporary might be the best one they've done. The Bay Lake Tower refurb might be the best design-wise, like as far as the artwork and things like that. That might be my favorite.
I watched some videos. I still like Saratoga better.
Fair enough. I like the rooms better. I know they're bigger, but I'm just saying, like, artwork-wise and some of the design.
Yeah, they did a good job with that new Contemporary Bay Lake refurbishment.
I'm excited to see what they do over at Kidani when they get to it.
Yeah, Kidani's good. Yeah.
Because they have a lot more wiggle room to, like, really be creative with that. Because those rooms are already super themed, so...
Yeah, you can be a little on the tacky side for...
Yes.
Animal Kingdom.
You can't... This is a topic for another day, but I just want to say, you can't go from what they have now to completely, like, subdued. You need to have a middle ground.
I agree.
I think they will, but we'll see. Time will tell. Anyway, so you checked in, got into your room. How was the view from your 4th floor balcony?
Oh, we had a great view. It was the big water fountain. It was quiet. It was a good view. It was fine. There's no bad view there because you don't get any parking lot views because everything is front to back. Everything faces in the back. I'll tell you what I really like about that room.
Yes.
Being just the two of us is that you don't have that pull down bed and you have drawers.
Mm. Oh, under the TV. It's not a 5-sleeper. Yes, I know what you're saying.
Because we find a little issue with the Grand Floridian because there's not a ton of draw space.
Mm.
So I like the fact that it sleeps 4 instead of 5 because for us, we get much more room there.
That's a good point because when we stayed at Wilderness Lodge or Boulder Ridge and Beach Club, and they do have that 5th sleeper under the TV, for the 4 of us, we were kind of living out of our suitcases because there weren't a lot of drawers to put stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a good point. It's still worth it for us to have the extra bed for the girls.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's better for you guys to sleep 5, but...
Yeah, the extra drawer space is nice for sure.
I mean, personally, I wish they still had the kings with the chair because then we get a lot more room, but that pull-down bed suffice. It's fine. I like having the couch.
Yeah, the couch is nice. One thing I noticed when we stayed at Saratoga in December and I don't remember from my first time there in September,
Mhm.
but I didn't hear a soul when I was in the room.
There's no noise.
That might be the quietest. I don't know if it's just because of the clientele or just the times we're there, but I don't ever remember even hearing someone walking in the halls.
No, no, and usually, like, whenever we're in a studio, you have the connecting one bedroom next door, and you can hear people having breakfast at the kitchen
Right.
table, but I don't hear any noise. You don't have the weasels running up and down the corridors. I don't hear anybody next door. It is so freaking quiet.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I love. I like that about it a lot. So what'd you do after you got settled in?
We headed over to Disney Springs. We were starving, and we weren't sure where we wanted to go, and then she said, "How about if we go to Cook's of Dublin?"
Oh,
I said, "It's been years since we've gone over there."
now this is the quick service that's attached to Raglan Road.
Yeah.
And you guys basically went up with the intention of spending a lot of time at Disney Springs,
Yeah, that's because we don't do Disney Springs,
unless you're
um,
staying at
unless
Saratoga.
we're staying there. It's a pain in the butt to take the bus.
I agree.
It's a 3, 4, 5 hour ordeal between you wait for the bus, by the time the bus gets there, by the time you get there, that's half hour, 40 minutes, depending on if you just missed the bus over to Saratoga or to Disney Springs. Then you gotta go through security, and then you gotta get it's just like, it's not a 6-hour day for me, because 'cause I'm pretty much checked out.
Yeah, unless you're actively eating, you're not
Right.
into it that much. It's just nice having that pull cord where you could just bail out. From like if you went and it was super crowded, you would have got your food and you would have bailed out.
Which we've done before, and I think you
Sure,
guys have done it too.
absolutely. But if you spend all that time on the bus over there, you just force
You
yourself
have
to
to make
stay
it
for
worth
2,
you
3
yeah.
hours.
Mhm.
So did you go right to Cooks of Dublin, or did you kinda you said you were starving, so you must have
Yeah, we
basically
farted
went
around in a gift shop here and there, working our way over to Cooks of Dublin. Then we got there, and
did you did you take the boat because it was raining or the walking? How'd you
I
get there?
think we ended up I think we took the boat that time.
Okay.
All the other times we were walking. The first time we took the boat. So we got the fish and chips.
Okay.
Then we did the upgrade with the chicken tender, and it is a monster chicken tender. It's not one of your typical Disney chicken tenders because like the price difference was $4, and she's like, "I'm not gonna eat it." I'm like, "If you don't eat it, I'll either eat it or we'll bring it back to the room." But I'm always one of those. You always got to get the large soup because
Mhm.
it's $2 more, and you're leaving too much money if you just get in a small cup.
Yeah,
I'm weird when it comes to that, but I'm
I
like,
agree.
just get it with the chicken finger, and either you'll eat it or bring it back.
So it's like an add-on, like, you could get the fish and chips plus add chicken
Yeah,
tenders
which
for
was like
another $4.
16.95 or the add chicken finger was like 19.95, so
Gotcha.
in parts, what I like to make everything fresh to cook to order. We sat there for a good 25 minutes.
Oh, really?
We split a soda and we just sat at a two top by the window, just kind of people watched and just we pretty much finished that soda. And then they brought the food out. So this is not under heat lamps. The French
Yeah.
fries were crispy, delicious. Just your pub fries, just good pub fries. You did threw some
You need the
vinegar,
vinegar on those, yeah, for sure.
vinegar on the fish and the French fries, and it
Absolutely.
was good parts. When was the last time you were there?
Cooks of Dublin, I think we went on our honeymoon.
Okay.
I mean, we've eaten at Raglan Road, but I haven't had Cooks of Dublin in a long
Yeah,
time.
they got a good pub burger. They've got such good food there, and it's so overlooked because everybody wants to do deluxe burger, or they
Mhm.
want to do Blaze Pizza, you name it. It's just
Polite Pig is very
yeah,
popular.
yep.
Now, did you guys share that, or did you get something
No,
as well?
we both did our own.
Oh, but you both got fish and chips?
Yep, we both did the fish and chips with the chicken
Gotcha.
finger.
Big portion? Like, was it enough?
Yeah, big pot. Yes, it was. I was full, and I was starving going in, and I was
Yeah.
full
Could you have shared it?
easily.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
that's one thing. That's one thing about Disney Springs is that there's so many good places, especially
yeah,
quick serve, that you almost want to like get something and share it, and then go to another place and share something.
yep,
As so I just was curious, but yeah, fish
yeah,
and chips
definitely.
better than the
Yes,
Epcot fish and chips. Yeah,
way
I figured.
way better, way
I
better.
figured. Nice.
Yeah, it's just a sit down restaurant quality. It's good stuff.
I'm guessing it wasn't too crowded because it was during the week and raining at
And
Disney
raining, it
Springs.
was dead. It was dead,
Yeah.
and we were at that between lunch and dinner because I told you we got there at 2, so I think we didn't get to the Springs until a little bit after 3, so we were in that time where
Yeah, the in between time.
yep. So after that, we just kinda farted around, went into a couple gift shops. You kinda do if we're doing that Saratoga Disney Springs, kinda just scout out what you're planning on buying
Mm.
and doing the Dave Ramsey where you have to sit on it for 24 hours.
The first loop through is just the scouting mission.
Just the scouting. I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, I'm looking at this. And then as we were making our way out, you have to go to the Christmas shop.
Oh, of course.
And there's just something it puts you in that mood, doesn't it? Because it has a Christmas smell,
Hmm.
and they're playing the Christmas music, and you're looking for new Christmas ornaments that you don't need.
Yeah, you need the 2025 now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, they didn't have many of the, ride ornaments. I don't know if they were popular when you were there, but, like, a year or 2 ago, we got Peter Pan, like, they had Peter Pan, Space
Oh,
Mountain.
because it looked like the building, right?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't
I
have
feel
many of
like they
those this
phased
time.
those out. Yeah,
Those are nice ornaments.
those are my favorite ones
I love those.
because they had resort ones like that too, where you could
I
see
got a
like,
lot of the resort ones.
yeah, I wanted them, and they don't seem to be making them anymore, which is a shame. Those are my favorite ones. They had a Hoop-Dee-Doo review one. They
I
had,
never saw the hoop-de-doo.
oh yeah, that's a good one. But they had like a Port Orleans one, Grand Floridian,
Yep.
Boardwalk, and then some rides. Like you said, they had a Haunted Mansion one, a Peter Pan's
Mhm.
Flight. I think they even had a Splash Mountain when it was Splash Mountain, maybe a Thunder Mountain one. Yeah, those are fantastic. I'm not thrilled they got rid of those. I feel like the resort specific ornaments have gotten worse the last couple of years.
I would agree.
But what are you gonna do? People are dying for that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Like, you and I aren't the only two idiots that collect Christmas ornaments everywhere we go. That's a very
I
common
got
thing.
a small, like, 4-foot tree that I put in the studio that you used to see over my shoulder, and that's just all of my Disney stuff.
Right. But I'm saying when you stay at, like, the fact that they only have one kind for each resort and they hardly ever have them is crazy. They could have, like, a very simple, like, a ball ornament, like a glass ball that just has the resort on it. They can have a more themed one. They could have 3 or 4. People would buy them all or at least choose one. Now they don't. I don't know.
Yeah,
They don't put the effort.
their merchandising's terrible. It's
It's
always
hit or
been
miss. Sometimes
it's
it has like waves though. Sometimes they have some really cool stuff, and then sometimes it's like, yeah, whatever. We'll just throw out whatever junk is out there. Yeah, but the Christmas store is the best. The problem with that Christmas store is when you walk out the back entrance, you're right in front of that art store, which is my weakness.
which is what we hit immediately
Yeah,
before we left, yes. Yeah, that place is so bad too.
I could spend tens of thousands of dollars. In
Oh,
that.
easily. And the unfortunate thing part is I took a picture and I never posted it. They had that short little par 3 at LBV where Schaefer shanked it and it checked up on the bridge. They had a
Oh,
picture
really?
of that hole.
Wow.
That hole and the bridge was off to the right. I'm like, this is gorgeous. If I
In that
remember,
art store?
no, no. Yes, in that art store. Kinda
Oh,
like
that's fantastic.
in the prints that you kinda look through, they're like
Yeah.
1995 and you have to they're on the paper print, but you should print them yourself. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
as I was scanning through, they had all different resorts, and I'm like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Oh, that's the par 3 where they moved it up, where you were pissed because there were so many temporary tees, and we're playing a par 3, it's like 72 yards." And Schaefer hit that shank job that just sat on the bridge. So we're going over there with our yardage books, figuring out what the next shot was.
I think he made par, didn't he?
I think he did. Yeah, because he dropped and he chipped it over.
Yeah.
Because I think, did he get a free drop?
Yeah, I think you
I
get
think
a free drop.
a free drop. I don't think you get a free drop on bridges.
Now we'll have to go back.
Because that would be considered water. Because you're supposed to play it off the bridge. Because otherwise, if the bridge is not there, it's in the water.
That's true. It's not a cart path. You don't get a drop.
Yeah, so there's a different rule. But regardless, we should just change the scorecards.
Go back 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
So we hit that, and then we headed back to the resort.
Did you end up walking back? Because that's
yeah,
right
we
near
ended
the
up walking back.
Now you said you weren't close, but I imagine it would have.
It was a good 20-minute walk.
Right, but it took you probably that long to walk to the boat launch from your room.
No. Yes, you're right.
Because you go across that bridge in the middle, right? And then you go down behind Lake Buena Vista.
I think what we did is that we went back, we drove the car over to LBV.
Oh, okay.
And then we just walked to the boat launch from there.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you could have done that to walk to the springs, too, because that's kind of the section that has the path that goes behind anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Because there's 2 ways to walk, isn't there?
Yeah, there's one that takes you to like the Cirque du Soleil side and the one that takes you to the Art of Disney side.
Yeah, we've never done that. We're going to have to try that the next time we stay over there.
I've never done that either. I've only done the one that goes over. It takes you right out by that new Indian restaurant, Eat, EET. That's where you come in. So that was, you just spent a few hours there, or did you do some other
stuff? we got back, I want to say around 4:35ish. And we just threw the TV on and laid in bed for a little while. I was going to take a nap. We kind of maybe shut our eyes for half hour, 45 minutes. And then I was just perfectly content staying in the room because I love just staying in the room, put TV on and just chill. But she's like, we only got one night here. I want to go back out. So she wanted to go to the springs. So we ended up going back over to the springs.
Was it more crowded at night?
It was dead because the weather was so bad.
Just because of the weather, yeah.
I'll tell you what, Pards, I'll deal with the rain because there was nobody there.
That's nice.
I mean, it was so dead that a lot of the beer carts weren't even open.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was so slow. So again, we did a couple of we did the Ron John shop. We did a couple other shops. Walked through the co-op.
Did you go in the DVC building? Go up to the lounge up there?
So that's later.
Okay. I apologize. Not trying to skip.
Oh, that's okay. So yeah, we just kind of farted around and we're going to continue on with our quick service journey.
Yes.
So we were going to kind of want to get back to the room. It was just rainy and cold and we had farted around in enough gift shops. I'm like, you want to get food and just bring it back to the room? She's like, perfect. So I said, I'm in the mood for pizza. You know when that hits you? I mean, I don't know about you. I think Chinese food is your thing, but I'm in the mood for pizza all the time. I'll have a pizza on a Friday, and then Sunday I'm like, I'm in the mood for a pizza. And she's like, we just had one Friday. And I was just in the mood for some pizza.
Yeah.
So we're walking by Blaze, and I think I messaged you and asked you if you had ever had it.
Yeah.
So we stopped in there and we ordered a pizza to go.
What'd you think of it?
I really liked it. We really liked it.
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not my favorite. But it's like the Chipotle of pizza. You order, you put what toppings you want, and they cook it fresh, which is really nice.
They cook it fresh. They have nice pizza ovens.
Yeah. No, I never had a problem with it. I always thought it was pretty good, but it was never my favorite. I think the novelty of it wears off when it's close and you go a few times.
I don't know if I'd necessarily go if it was in Cranston, if I was living there. I'll tell you what, I thought for the price, think we paid like $9.95 with like we did pepperoni, sausage, mushrooms, cheese, and I think they even might have put on like a green sauce.
Yeah, like a pesto
A
drizzle or something.
pesto, yes, like a little
Yeah.
pesto. Man, it was good. Like, we weren't able to wait until we got to the room, so we went over to Polite Pig because that was on our radar.
Yeah.
So we went over there, ordered some food. She got a drink, I got a Bud Light, and as we're waiting for our food, I see her farting around with a pizza box, and I'm like, "You gonna have one?" She's like, "Yeah, you want a piece?" I'm like, "Sure." So we both had a piece at Polite Pig. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Good underbelly. It was nice and charred on the underbelly, but not
Yeah.
overdone. Yeah, I mean, for $9.95 for that pizza, it's fine.
And
It's
it's
better than
big
what you're
enough
gonna get at the resorts.
for 2 people too.
Yeah.
It's definitely big enough for like 1, it's a good meal. For 2, it's good split. Like I could eat a whole Blaze pizza by myself.
Oh, easily. Yeah, they're not that big. It's not
They're
like
not
getting
that
a 16-inch at your local
right.
pizzeria, but
But yeah, what'd you think of Polite Pig?
so we got the sliders. There were like 3
Mhm.
sliders.
Like
So we got
brisket,
that.
pulled pork,
Yeah,
different
you
stuff.
and like a chicken, like a chicken, and we got the Brussels sprouts that you raved about when we
Yeah.
got the macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
And she got a drink. She got the Polite Punch, which I
Hmm.
took a sip. It was really good. I don't know if you're familiar with that cocktail.
I haven't seen that one specifically, but sounds pretty good.
Yep, and I got a Bud Light. Um,
I've heard of that cocktail before.
yeah, it's out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Mhm. Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. And that was about it. We brought all that back to the room. And we just put the TV on and hung out.
I wanna know what you thought of those Brussels sprouts because those are some of my favorite things I've ever eaten.
So I was kind of taken aback with the whole, what is it, whiskey that they put in or what?
Yeah, they're supposed to be like whiskey, caramelized whiskey
Yep.
Brussels
So
sprouts, yeah.
I didn't have a good mindset going in,
Mhm.
but then when I tasted it and I tasted that caramelized whiskey it was delicious.
Yeah.
It makes that dish, I think.
It's so good. It's like the perfect balance because you think it's gonna be too sweet maybe
Yeah.
when you think about it, but it definitely isn't.
And it was cooked perfectly, like not too hard, not too soft. The outers were charred. It's a great dish. I don't know if you
Mhm.
had the mac and cheese, but
No,
that was
that was
really
good
good.
as
It
well.
was just fresh. It's not your typical crap mac and cheese.
I think that place is fantastic,
I agree with you.
especially if you're on the dining plan 'cause that counts as a quick serve. It's a little expensive for a quick serve if
Yeah, I
you're
mean, we
paying
were
out of
out of there
pocket.
at like 40 or $50, maybe 60 with all the drinks and stuff. But yeah,
Because you can get, like, the ribs are $26 for a quick serve meal, that's pretty expensive.
yeah.
And you only get 1 side, but the sides are really good, and they give you a lot, it's not like they cheap out on the sides.
No, they don't.
I would actually say, based on what you're saying about the mac and cheese, you go in there, you get 1 entree and get a couple extra sides, that's enough to split,
Yep.
for sure, if you wanna do that, because their sides are really good. And then
So that's pretty much
I
what we
did
did.
find that, that punch, that Polite Punch, it's moonshine, pineapple, and cranberry.
How's that sound?
Sounds good. Only $12 for the cocktail, which isn't bad for Disney prices.
And I think I messaged you guys that night,
Mhm.
but plastic straws are back.
Yes, you did mention that. Just
I
there
don't
or
know.
everywhere?
We weren't at the parks, but they were everywhere at Disney Springs.
Interesting.
And I'll tell you what, it makes a huge freaking difference.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the cocktail when you're mixing it up, and it makes a huge difference. The soda was different. Usually, we don't get straws because
Right.
they put that paper garbage that starts disintegrating. So then we just start drinking it, and you're walking and you're dribbling it on you. And
Right.
I mean, that That was the big takeaway of this trip, as sad as it is to say,
That was your highlight of the trip?
was
That you had
having a
plastic.
cocktail with a freaking regular straw. You don't have to pull the one that we got from her sister a couple years ago for Christmas, one of those reusable ones that you have to wash.
Oh, yeah,
Can't
yeah.
use those paper straws.
No, they're terrible. My dad brings plastic straws with him. He gets a whole bunch at the dollar store, and he packs them, and my mom has to take them out every time he gets a drink, and he puts them.
Stupid, isn't it?
It is dumb. It's funny
Like
to
in your hotel room, it's like you have like that big box of straws.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we did what you said. We split a few things. Brought them back to the room.
Yeah.
I put the TV on. She said they have that great table too at Saratoga Springs that
Yeah,
you
you
can
pull it.
lift up. The one that you put the storage.
Yeah.
You can put a backpack or two in there, and then you lift it up. Oh, I love that room.
Mhm.
So that's about all we did that first day.
Okay.
Then we got up and made coffee.
Yep.
We had late checkout, and they
Nice.
actually we always ask for it, and they called us that night and left a message and said that we were accepted for late checkout. So we did late checkout.
Oh.
We got coffee. Of course, there was never enough creamers, so we did the Gary Aruda
Oh, it
trick.
worked.
It did not work. We did the Hey
What?
Disney. They said, "How many do you want?" We said we want X amount, and 2 hours went by, and we didn't get any creamers.
No?
So we don't know. I think it was the housekeeping parts because the Hey
Oh,
Disney
no.
part worked.
Because usually, like, you go through and it's like, "Oh, do you want anything else?" No, and then it says, "Okay,
Yeah, it
we'll
was like,
send it."
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yep.
that's a
Yep.
bummer.
We tried it. It worked on our end. It worked on the Hey Disney end, but
Ugh.
there was probably somebody down there who just hates their job and they're like, yeah,
Mhm.
screw these jack-offs.
At least they have the creamers in the quick serve there, though. I
Yeah,
saw
but
'em
we
last
don't go to the quick serve.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
It's too long of a walk. When you're staying there, you're basically in an apartment in Manhattan. You have to have all your stuff. So there was a girl and we flagged her down and just asked and she gave us like 10 creamers or whatever. But I think if you use coffee and cream, they never give you enough because you need at
Yeah.
least 5 or 6 creamers.
Yeah, so when I make the coffee in the room, I make the pot the night before, and then I put it in the fridge because I like iced coffee, and I drink my
Mhm.
iced coffee black, so it's never been an issue for me.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I mean, if you want it to have a lot of cream, you need to get
So I
extra.
think when you're checking in, and we always make that mistake, going and just ransack the quick service. Because I'll usually hit up Primo Piatto when I go down and grab breakfast and just throw 20 of those in.
Yeah. Because you guys like to drink a few coffees. It's not like you're just having one. You'll have one
Yeah, we
later
usually
in the
have at least 2, and if I
day
and maybe I'll take a third
for a
if we're
walk.
gonna go for a walk or if we're gonna get breakfast. So, um, then we went back over to the Springs, and we met our friend Daniel Matherin.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
we met him over at the DVC
Oh, at the lounge.
lounge. Yeah,
How is that?
it's so nice.
It's up on the second floor, right?
Yeah, it's nice. It's
Nice.
hard to find because I message him. He's like, it's right across these shops. And I'm like, looking, I'm like, we're standing by these shops. Right next across are these other outlets.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you get well, you have to go around the back. So it's a
Oh,
back entrance,
really?
and then you go upstairs, and then it overlooks these shops. But I could not find this thing.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it blue card only to go up there?
Well, it's blue card or prospective members. So they do
Oh,
look your stuff up. So I had to give them, they had to scan my my
yeah.
code.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to only be blue card, but it was good. So you walk in, they scan your stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go on an elevator, and then they meet you upstairs. So like, oh, you're the Hurleyfield, because I'm like looking, I'm like, well, you could bypass this whole check-in thing and just jump on the elevator
But they
and go up
have
to the
someone at the
second
top.
floor.
Yeah.
But they have somebody who escorts you, because you know me, I'm always trying to figure out how to be a
Find
weasel.
the angle. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to go up there and get my soda and bag of Cheez-Its. So we went up there. Dan, he had a beer. we got like a Sprite or soda. They have coffee machines, hot chocolate, sodas,
So he
Oreo.
brought the beer with him then, is what you're
Yeah, he
saying?
brought it with him. He got
Okay.
it down one of this street vendors.
Because I would be very willing to pay for a beer in one of those lounges. I know all this stuff is like free, but if they had a little bar where you could get a cocktail or a beer, that'd be really cool.
Yeah,
Especially at
I
the Springs.
yeah, because most people are day drinking anyways.
There you go.
So they do different presentations. It's kind of a sales center, but nobody there bothers you.
Right.
So like if you go up, you say, you know what, I'm looking into a contract, I'm looking into an add-on, I'm looking at this, and then they'll talk to you, but there's nobody coming around. Do you have any questions? Do you have any super chill, just like their other lounges? They actually have a 2-bedroom Riviera model. So
Model
like
in
of
there, yeah.
course I had to go fart around and look at our future 1-bedroom that we're staying in May. Okay, yeah, this is we're gonna stay here, and this is look at the refrigerator, and get a couple of tomahawk ribeyes in there.
Yeah, of course, yep.
So we hung out there quite a while. I want to say a good hour. We were just chatting, and he finished his beer, and I had a soda, and that was it. And then we headed out, and he was going back to his resort, and it was time for us to have lunch. And I'm not going to talk about it, but we went to where the heck did we go?
Wine Bar George.
Oh, we went to Wine Bar George. We had lunch at Wine Bar George.
That was Susie's pick because it was her birthday the previous week,
It
right?
was her like birthday weekend. So we went over there. We had lunch. She agreed to come on the show, the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast show next week to do a Wine Bar George review.
Excellent. I like
That's how good this place is. I can't summarize it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, we don't want to just gloss over it. Now, that lounge that upstairs in that DVC preview center, were there a lot of people there?
No, I mean no problem getting a table. It was filling up a little bit, but I want to say there was 15 to 20 people.
Okay, so they could be a little judicious about it. So they may not let everyone up. Like if I went and played dumb, they might say you need to have the blue card.
Yeah,
if it was crowded.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Because I never saw anything officially. Like I know the Epcot one, and obviously the one they're building in the Magic Kingdom you need to have the blue card. But this one, because it was a sales center, it made it seem like any DVC member, or it just wasn't specific. So I was just curious if they said anything about it.
Yeah, because they said it's a sales center / lounge. So I'm pretty sure you can get in, and if not, you could just say, hey, I'm a prospective. I'm looking at a contract. Now that the new Poly Tower is open, and I mean, because I don't know if you've ever been through a presentation, but they don't press you. You just yeah, you know what? We're really not looking to spend that much at this time, but maybe in a couple years, it's chill.
I haven't been through an official one. I've only done like the tours, like
you and they don't.
No, they tell you the stuff, but they're not bugging you about it. Now, had you already checked out? So you met them after you checked out with your late?
Yeah, so we had already checked. Yeah, we had already checked out. We went over there. We had our brunch, and then we ended up buying all of our stuff. And then what we did was we went over to see the room because they were at the Poly Tower in a studio.
Oh, okay.
So we went over to the Polynesian.
Now you had to take the bus over there, or did you drive?
No, we ended up driving. So I texted
transportation.
No, I texted them and I said, "Can you call down to security to see if you can, to see if we can get in there and park? Otherwise, no big deal. We can just park in the main lot."
Yeah. Oh, so just basically, he could have added you to his room.
He could have done a million things. So we went over there and we pulled in because you haven't been over there, but the new Poly Tower, they just have the sticks that go up and down, so you have to scan your band or whatever. Gotcha. They don't have guards there. So I went into
entrance.
So I went into the main lot and I said, "Hey," my buddy's staying here. He said he called down and you would let us in as long as we gave his last name. So like, what's the last name? So I told her, and she's like, "Oh, well, they're staying over at the new tower. Do you want to park there?" I go, "No." I said, "No big deal." I said, "Because you don't have guards there anyways." I said, "I'll just It's like, we prefer you parking here because there's more space here, and we'd rather have guests stay there. I said, yeah, I just want to make it easy for everybody. I said, as long as you got room for me to park here, we just park here and walk over to the tower. So that's what we did. Went in, got a coffee over at Captain Cook's, and walked over to the tower. He met us in the lobby, and he took us up to look at his room. And oh, I'll tell you what, that's a gorgeous room.
It's a nice room.
It's a gorgeous room.
Now, you didn't like the one bedrooms because you said they were small, but the studio's nice.
I said something. I was kind of being a jerk. I said I wasn't happy with the one bedrooms. What I don't like about the one bedroom is that they don't have a closet. It's like they just have, like, basically like one of those IKEA things where you can just
like
put a
the
pair of
dresser.
slippers in. Yeah, and a nice one bedroom on the resort loop. Kind of need some type of closet, wouldn't you say?
Be nice. I guess they didn't want
Yeah.
to spare the square footage for it.
Yeah, and it's on the small side, but the layout of the Poly Tower Deluxe Studio is just beautiful. It is so nice.
Yeah. Did he have
They actually have a
standard view?
table. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was overlooking the golf course.
Oh, that's nice.
So the monorail loop goes by. We were hanging out on the balcony, huge balcony. But they have next to the TV. I don't know if you watch YouTube's, but they have like a little nook where they have seating, and then they have, I almost want to say, like a mini kitchen table. It's the only studio that has a dishwasher.
Oh, that's weird.
So yeah, it's really nice. It's a great room. Great room. It reminds me a lot of the new Disneyland Tower. So I
Okay.
can see where they're going with these new builds. But yeah, it's really nice.
That's good.
And then we went out to the terrace.
Yep.
And it's gorgeous, overlooking the Magic Kingdom. The sun was setting. We ended up having, Susie and I had our sprinkles cupcakes.
Oh, you got those with, okay.
Oh, have you ever had those?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Oh, we got the caramel, and it has salt on it. So it's caramel with salt. Oh, it was delicious.
Yeah, we had them once. I didn't like it, but
Oh, I loved them.
I don't like cupcakes that much, so I'm not the best judge for that. I'll admit.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, so then after that, we were finishing up the night. We checked out the reopened walkway over to the Grand Floridian. They were actually having a wedding over there. So it takes you over to the wedding pavilion. So that walkway is a lot better, because it used to, went back when they had the luau, you'd have to go back and this way and against the road and this. Like, literally, the walk from the Poly Tower to the Grand Floridian DVC Tower is less than 5 minutes. I mean, it is super easy walk. It's beautiful.
So it's actually longer to get from the Poly Tower to the Poly lobby.
Yeah, it's almost like the Poly. Yeah, it's almost like the Grand Floridian DVC is closer to the Poly Tower than the Polynesian, the Grand Ceremonial House is. Yeah.
Because I've heard that's not a complaint, but that it's pretty far, and like if you want to get coffee, that's a long walk to get your morning.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it would have been nice if they had, especially in their sit-down restaurant over there, if they had. And they do have the they don't have coffee, but they do over by the pool and the
soda
gym.
machines.
They do have the soda machine. But yeah, it is a pain. No different from the Grand Floridian. The Grand Floridian walk from their DVC building over to
their main lobby,
Gasparilla is really long. So
yeah,
I
that's
won't
true.
complain too much, but
nice. So you guys got a lot done in one night.
Of course,
took advantage of it.
Yeah, it's a good resort parts. I love that place.
It's perfect for what you did. 1 or 2 nights hanging out at the Springs. Like, you can't really beat it. It's not the best resort if you're going to the parks for the bus reason. Like, the buses there aren't.
The buses suck. I'll just be blunt. The bus situation sucks over there.
But it's not great anywhere. The buses in general are not fun.
I hate buses to begin with. That's correct.
But theirs is particularly rough. So that is a deterrent for sure. I know you don't like driving your car when you stay on property, but I think if you were going the parks from Saratoga, you'd probably use the car.
Might be a better option.
Yeah. Are really a problem. Anyway, any last thoughts?
No, I'm looking forward to staying there again, though. I don't have anything in the books, but it's turning into one of my favorite resorts.
Is it a once a year now for you think? Like for
It
a night or
was
two?
once every other year, but, like, I'm trying to figure out how to buy more points, buy a small contract there. Now we can stay on a weekend. She doesn't
Mm,
have to take any time off.
that's true.
Go up Friday afternoon, do a Friday, Saturday, come back Sunday.
It's a really good bang for your buck too.
It's really made me enjoy the Springs a
And
lot
she
more.
likes the Springs too, right?
Yeah, she does, yes.
Well, good. I'm glad to see you enjoying my home resort.
Yeah, I
That's
am enjoying your home resort.
welcome home parts.
Oh, welcome home, Parts.
It's still the best every time you walk in to see your last name on the TV, isn't it?
It's great to see that, and I love when you take the boat over to the Springs and you see
Mhm.
that big welcome home sign
Oh, in the stone, yeah.
in the stone, and when we were walking past there, they have Adirondack rocking chairs. I'm like, "This you could just get a cup of coffee and sit there. It's so beautiful."
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great resort.
It's an amazing resort.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
bring us home, parts.
All I've got, Pards, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at DVC Addicts. Email the show, info@addictedtodvc.com. And join our Facebook group, DVC Addicts. For my cousin and co-host Gary in Rhode Island, I'm Mike in Florida. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. We want to hear from you. Email us at info@addictedtodvc.com and follow us on all socials at DVC Addicts. We appreciate you being a part of our DVC community, and we'll see you again on our next episode. Thanks again for listening, and welcome home.